Simple as that. So
All
if you
right.
don't understand all of Africa, you ain't gonna understand African history at all.
All right. Let me bring Sanchez up to date. Sanchez, what Uncle's talking about is gravity. Are you still the same way as far as your belief system goes when you don't believe in gravity? Are you still saying that? Okay. All right. Yes, sir. No problem. Go ahead, do your thing. So, Unc, man, did you see the conversation? I needed you last night, man. You ain't come through, man.
Yeah, but I went live on the channel. I went live on Solid TV. I went live with you. I was doing too much. I gotta get you the money, man.
Nah, you ain't doing too much. Keep it going, man. Just keep it going.
Yeah, the people. You know what the people, and I appreciate the House of Consciousness, man. The people been kind of coming to those early shows and supporting me too.
All right.
I
That's
appreciate that.
man. Have they been giving you any donations to the
Yeah,
cash app or anything?
they've been starting to catch up a little bit. That's what I'm saying. I appreciate
That's
that.
good. That's what's up, man. That's all I'm asking for, man.
Yeah.
Support my brother Unc. He's getting up early in the morning so y'all can have early shows at work, go in the bathroom, sit on the toilet, and watch the show. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I know y'all at work, so go and hide in the bathroom. That's how you do it. You know? Yes. So
Yeah, I'm
Sanchez,
ready.
I was saying,
Oh,
do
hold
you
on.
still do you still teach? Oh, hold on.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Do you still teach that there is no such thing as gravity? That's what Suntan wanted to bring to you. Matter of fact, I'll bring my man
Well,
Suntan up
well,
where
let,
he
let
can
me let me
actually.
let me just go ahead and nip that in the bud real quick.
All right, go ahead, brother.
I'm very strict on a time limit today. I have about an hour and a half. So I
Okay,
would like to just deal. I want to do one thing at a time. I'm an organized kind of guy. I'm willing
right.
to do. Sonnet is only going to help you, by the way, because what I'm going to tell you here for the record, if Suntan want a one-on-one debate with me, and if the other brother, the cowput, my bad, I forgot that other dude name, but
Now,
you know the
Suntan don't
dude.
want no debate. And Rakufu, you talking about probably Rakufu?
Well, put it this way: whoever want to debate with me, bro, in 2026, I'm entertaining it for a little while through you, Sarnetta. So we gonna
Yeah.
get it in. We gonna get it in. I want to start with Unc first, though, with one thing at a
Yes, let's
time,
get it.
and I don't really want to go to flat Earth. I really came here
Right.
today
That's what I said
focused
that
straight
earlier.
on
I told
yeah.
him that earlier.
But I ain't
Yeah.
running from that though. Let's set that up though.
Right.
Let's
I
set it
got
up.
you. I got
Yeah.
you. Do you want to start the conversation or do you want Brother Sanchez to start it off?
I already started the conversation. That was
He
my
wasn't here.
conversation.
He wasn't here though. He wasn't here.
I said that gravity is
No,
fundamental
we're
to.
not talking about gravity, brother. We're talking about
I said gravity is fundamental to the conversation because it's
okay.
in Earth's atmosphere where gravity affects humans.
You
My point
you
was,
mean
if we
gravity
evolved
is
in space,
okay?
I said if we evolved in space, when humans go to space, they start to lose muscle mass, right? So when they come back, it's hard, they got to get their muscle together so they can walk and withstand gravity. That's how we know it's a force pushing against them. But this is all help. It's called environmental pressures and radiation from the sun. So you got outside forces, right, inside Earth's atmosphere that puts environmental pressures on humans is why they evolved. And we understand the high levels of radiation inside of Africa. That's why you find all the major hominids inside of Africa. My point is, human beings, okay, Homo sapiens sapiens, start in Africa first. Thus, we get the outer Africa theory 1 and 2. I'm starting with that. There's no getting around that.
I just want to say I don't understand how y'all putting gravity into like the out of Africa debate, but I ain't gonna trip on it. I'm a focus right. I'm a focus straight on the topic, which is out of Africa, and we can do a gravity or flat Earth debate in the future, but I don't know
We
why
already
y'all
did.
want
No, we
to.
already did it already.
We
Keep
can do
going. Don't worry
another one. We
about it.
got to do it. We can do another one. But let me ask you something before I get on the out of Africa theory.
Yeah, go for
What
it, buddy.
is the equation for gravity,
What's the equation?
For gravity?
Can I look it up?
You
But I thought
you
you didn't
don't
want to
you
go through
don't
the
you don't
gravity thing.
you don't know the equation
But
for
I, but
gravity
I,
by
but I,
heart.
But I thought you didn't want to go into that because we did that at
You
the debate. I
when
can just look it up. The
when
equation.
somebody
Hold on.
brings something up and act like they
I'm great. I'm
wanna
gonna look
play
it
with
up.
me
Hold
about
on.
it. No, it's
Nah,
okay,
that's a
brother.
pseudo camp.
I'm finna move on to the out of Africa thing. I
No,
was
no,
just
no, no.
saying that you
We're
know
not
about
moving
hard.
on.
I
We're
know
not
the
moving on.
equation for gravity. I was saying that you know it.
No,
Let's
no,
go
you
now,
don't. No,
brother.
you don't. No, you don't.
Let's move
No.
on. Let's move on. Though.
So,
Let's
so
get
wait,
into the
so wait,
topic.
wait. So you're saying that's an actual equation for gravity?
You didn't
You're
know
saying
that?
that? Sanchez?
You didn't.
No,
You
no.
didn't.
I'm saying, are you saying that?
In order for
No,
me
I
to
know it's a piece.
in order for me to argue against something, I have to know about the thing. But I'm not here today to talk about gravity. I just asked to see if you knew it by heart. You don't. So let's just get back. Let's get on the out of
No, no,
Africa
no.
thing.
But I'm
It's
saying, but
okay,
if
brother.
you
Let's
are,
get on the out of
no, no, no,
Africa,
no, no, no,
brother.
no, 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 no.
It's
Hold on.
okay, brother.
Hold
Let's
on.
get on the
Hold on.
out of
No, no,
Africa
no, no, no. We're
thing,
not
brother.
doing this. No,
What the
sir.
topic
So
about,
if you,
Sonetta?
no, 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 about gravity.
No,
Because you
no.
asked me. No,
You
sir.
stumped,
No,
bro.
sir.
You
I'm not leaving gravity. I'm not leaving gravity.
he big mad. Okay, brother.
the topic is about, you know what y'all debate is about. This is the weigh-in right now. That's why I said it's not about gravity. It's not about none of that. It's about what y'all debating. That's what it is, huh? So you was just talking about that until he came. So now let's get to the issue. Let's get to the issue. Now, if you want the gravity talk, we can do that probably tomorrow or something. Oh, you hear me? Unmute yourself, huh? If you're talking.
Me out, sir.
No, I didn't mute you out, bro.
Yeah, I said I'm not leaving gravity because if this man admits there's an equation for gravity, then he's scamming when he said it ain't no gravity because he just admit there's an equation that verifies gravity.
Oh
And he
man.
said, I don't know it. But I'm saying we can look up the equations for gravity. So the question to you is, what do you have that destroys the equation for gravity that you claim you know, but yet don't understand it? That's my question back at you, Sanchez.
Okay. So
Yeah,
do you know what F equals I time M is? What that
force.
equation is? What that
F
is?
equals force. I
No,
know F equals force.
I'm
G
giving you
equals
an
gravity.
equation, brother. Hold up, slow, calm. Can you have him calm down a bit, damn?
Yeah, you
Listen, I'm
got to
asking you
relax,
something,
brother. Let
bro.
him ask the
Man,
question.
I'm walking around, man.
Listen,
Get out of here with that. Y'all bugged
F.
out. Stop
Listen, brother.
y'all.
F equals I times M. You know what that equation is?
I know F.
He
I know
looking
what
it
F
up.
stands for. I'm
I'm
just
gonna
saying,
tell you
all
what
right,
that
man.
equation is. Before you look it up and because it's a
Man,
trick question.
I'm saying it's not a
I
trick,
was
bro.
gonna.
F equals force. F equals force, bro. That's
We
come
know
on,
that
yo.
I was giving you an equation.
So what you talking about then?
F equals I time M. So let me make my point with this equation. I ain't want to take time just doing that.
Yeah, make your point with it so I can get you.
What's funny while you googling is that is
I'm not.
actually
Standing here with my phone in my hand, yo. I ain't googling nothing.
okay. My bad. Then let me just
Yeah,
land my plane here. Then
yeah.
I
But I
can't.
suppose, but I suppose to
Your
look up
camera.
stuff.
Yeah, you do. I ain't gonna hold that against you, but we want to let it
Right?
be
You can't.
known though that
Let
it's
me
okay.
know.
It's okay,
Right.
brother.
Let me know. The brother will look up stuff.
Okay, cool,
For the
brother.
record, I'm
Let
just
me tell
saying.
you why I brought up the equation now.
Yeah, go ahead.
The equation is for flying elephants. You know why I brought that up? Equation
Well, I don't
is
know what you're
just
talking about.
the reason I gave you the equation for flying elephants is to say that elephants don't fly, but you can make an equation for any claim. An equation is just a mathematical language. If you tell a lie in Chinese, it don't make the lie truth. So if you tell a lie in a mathematical equation, that don't make your lie true. It still have to be proven. Just simply having an equation for something don't make it true. You can't be that slow. You can't be that slow. So flying elephants is true because it's an equation for it, right? Stop it, He ain't ready for me, Sarnetta, and I'm tired of beating up on your mans. I'm tired. He said he the God killer, but God's still alive. I'm right here, bro. They still praying to me.
So I don't know why you said something about flying elephants. Right? I thought you were
I
talking
know
about the
you don't, bro.
equation.
It goes
You
over your
mentioned you
head like a
asked me.
halo, like a halo.
Yeah, yeah, you asked me what F mean in that gravity equation. I said force. I don't know what you was talking about. I don't mind that, but for the listening audience, I'm letting y'all know right now. I reserve the right as an intelligent human being
To look
to
stuff
look
up
up things. Right. So
and
if
to
y'all sitting there
memorize it.
think, hold on. So if y'all sitting there thinking that we not supposed to look up something, that we supposed to know everything and everything, then
That
that's
hurt
not
you.
gonna happen.
That hurt
So
you, bro. It's okay.
I don't live in that world.
It's
I
okay,
don't live in that
brother.
world.
I know you
Right.
right, man.
Okay, I don't live in that
Okay,
world.
okay, brother. That really hurted the
I'm
brother.
Lucas.
All right. So
Okay.
all right.
What?
So I'm gonna segue on into this out of Africa thing. On my end, drop a one in my chat if you guys can hear me loud and clear. Let's give a salutes to Sarnetta, man. He's been doing this so long, and the reason I want my people to give a salutes to Sarnetta is because it must be a bunch of. I know Sarnetta got PTSD watching me murder all his men like this. I mean, every show, everybody from Jabari to Reggie, I know Sarnetta is hurting. He had to go to so many funerals. Can we clap it up for the OG? He's seen so many bodies dropped in these streets, man, and it must be traumatic. Sarnetta, I just want to say I thank you, man. I feel for you and all that. Yes. And another thing I want to say here today, shout out to the brother Mike L who made this Egyptian hat that I'm wearing. I'm wearing that to show that I'm FBA, but it's still all love for the diaspora. I'm not a divisive one. And now we can proceed to this out of Africa.
Where's the Egyptian hat? Let me see the Egyptian hat.
All right.
You wearing the Egyptian hat?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, I see it.
Yeah, he hooked me up. Salutes to the brother Mike L.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, so yo, let's get right into it, man. Ankh is saying that all life comes up out of Africa. You are saying all life don't come out of Africa. Now, I want to advise you, brother Sanchez and Ankh, you don't want to give up your main sources yet, but you can talk around it. You know how to do it. You don't want to give up everything. So go ahead, Sanchez, start that conversation.
Well, I want to just start off with something very simple. The out of Africa theory is just a theory for how life began and how diversity come to be. But other people can have explanations and theories of how it happened too. That don't have to be the end all be all. And we should be able to put all these theories side by side and decide which one's the best one. But the out of Africa theory has ran a monopoly and presented itself as the end all be all. But I think what's very important to know is that the oldest tribes in Africa don't even subscribe to the theory. The Dogon don't subscribe to the out of Africa theory. When you talk to African people, they don't agree that all life come from their land. In fact, some of the oldest origin stories of humans' life in Africa from the tribes says that all life originated from Amma. And that's a whole nother debate on what Amma is to the Dogon. So I ain't gonna go down that road, but it's just to show that we have an out of Africa theory to explain our worldview and the way we see life. But that's not the end all be all. When you travel, when you get out there, not everyone subscribe to that. And the reason I'm saying that is to say it's okay to challenge it. We act like Christians with the Bible, like you can't challenge it. You can't challenge God. You can't challenge science. Yet they'll say science don't got all the answers. We try to get it right and we can make mistakes. We don't act like we know everything. Shitting me. You act like you know everything, which is why can't nobody challenge the out of Africa theory, but I'm going to challenge it today. That's my opening with what I'm about to do. Now, Saw, if you want me to go right into my argument against it, I can do that too, or I can let him
let's let Unc
let me go.
let's let Unc respond.
No problem.
Okay, so I don't agree with what Sonnet is saying.
Hey, Unc, before you start, Sanchez and Unc, no profanity.
I got you.
Please don't curse and say my bad, I'm sorry. Because you know what I noticed, Unc, real quick? I noticed all the Chief X videos have that yellow goddamn tag. And you know why. All of his videos have the yellow.
You don't know how to
green.
You don't know how to refute the yellow tag, brother. Do I gotta show you that?
Yeah, you might have to show me.
Oh man, you didn't.
There's a lot of curses on that though. That's why I was thinking there's a lot of
no, that's not it. I can show you how to fix that.
You
Okay,
gotta,
all right.
if you can, you can write down a timestamp where they did it. You can go cut them out, and then they'll green it once you cut them out
Yeah,
real quick.
yeah.
Yeah.
I noticed all his videos over here. It got that yellow. Everything else is green. So,
Yeah.
all right, go ahead, go ahead.
So never acquiesce to a faulty premise. There were certain faulty premises that Sarnetta said, and of course Sanchez said. Right? I'll bring those out in the debate. And I'm amazed that in 2026, a person does not have the wherewithal to separate human populations and put them in proper space and time. The Twa, or the Hutu, or indigenous African tribes did not, are not, was not, didn't usher humans into the space age or the Bronze Age. They was in the quote unquote hunter gatherer Stone Ages, right? And so why would they know things like that? Science works off of having the ability to build a foundation, having the ability to unlock the room to get you the next room. Each room stacks on top of the other. So the time periods he's talking about indigenous tribes, they did not have the educational level to even begin to talk about the subject matter we're talking about. But hell, no humans did. But they absolutely laid the foundation so to get you to this point. It's always this conversation where I recognize that Sanchez does not know or understand what a damn scientific theory is. Why is that? As a debate, I will challenge you to give the definition of what a scientific theory is. And then once you understand what a scientific theory is, you would just say, you know what? Unc one. That's my opening statement right there. Learn what a damn scientific theory is.
So Sarnetta, this man is so funny that he think I don't understand what a scientific theory is, and the reason he think that you can mute him real quick. I was
Yeah.
quiet for him. He was muted when I was muted for him. So yeah, so I understand what a scientific theory is. He think I don't because I challenge the theories. I know that they call their theories facts, which is silly. I know I've looked it up. I know that a scientific theory technically is it's a tested theory that's been through the fire for so long that they say is really a fact. I get all that, man. That's it in a nutshell. It's basically a fact. I'm challenging their claims that it's a fact. And that don't mean I don't know that they're saying it's a fact. Like, come on, bro. I'm still challenging it. So with that being said, he said a lot of things about the tribal people and all that and about the space age. I want him to know that everything we know about the stars, and I'm not even making this up, bro, even his scientists say this. Everything we know about the stars, there's books written, go look up Lab Strand, all of them. The Dogon, the Pygmy, the Mayan, the ancient Egyptians, all of them already knew everything that we just found out with technology, which makes our ancestors more divine than we think. Because when you think about the fact that the Dogon tribe, some people in the jungle, knew and was making predictions about the stars that we just started figuring out with technology, it'll make you look at the Dogon a little different. It'll make you look at these ancient people a little different. See, people like Ankh think that these tribes don't know what we know because he don't even get too thorough with his own science. There are a lot of his own anthropologists and scientists that have written books to the nature of basically saying, how the hell do these tribes know that? They don't supposed to know that. This is the claims we made. People have been saying for years that the Dogon know things that they should not know about the stars because they didn't have the technology. And the question becomes, for so long in history, how the hell did the Maya know? How did the Vedic know? How did the Egyptian know? How did the Dogon tribe, dude in the jungle with a bone in his nose, and we go over there and he tell us everything about the stars and we find out later, damn, it checks out. He's right. How the hell did he know that? Right? So the fact that you ain't into that and you don't know that part of science seems to be a little bit selective and biased. But I'm not here today to defend tribes or to talk to you about the stars. And I'm going to be honest, Sarnetta, I think Unc running from the out of Africa debate, because if he get the mic out to this and we don't get on the topic already, then I don't really think he want that smoke about out of Africa theory. Because we've been talking about the Dogon, the stars, and all that. And I'm ready for this out of Africa thing, and we can do any other title you want. But trust me, it's starting to look like you're running now, Unc. And I'm ready to get it, make my arguments for this out of Africa thing. And guess what, Unc? This ain't even a real debate. I'm just playing. It's my play stuff right here.
All right, Unc, let's get it, man.
Yeah, right here. Yeah, you gotta knock it off, yo. You done set up here and don't even know the conversation is already into the outer Africa theory. And you don't even recognize that. So, like I said, like 99% of the pseudos, they don't know what a scientific theory is. You probably need to look it up before the debate, bro. You cannot come in there and not know what a scientific theory is and think, first of all, if you knew what a scientific theory is, you know daggone well you're not getting on Sonetta TV and challenging no damn scientific theory. You must got some kind of pseudo understanding of what it is. But bro, if you sitting there and you thinking you challenging the outer African theory from YouTube on Sonetta TV, I'm gonna beat the brakes off you, bro, because it's something you just don't understand. But I'm cool with that. So let's do this. The point is, if we was looking at wild grains, right, and we see one variety of wild grains was in Asia, and five of that same type, but in variation, was in Africa, there's a fundamental rule that says, well, basically, wild grains must have came from Africa, and one got transplanted to Asia. That's the same with the outer Africa theory. There's going to be 3-4 ways I'm going to bring scientific evidence to verify the outer Africa theory. We will use the and some say don't give up the source. I'm giving up all my sources because he can't defeat the sources. He's in trouble. We're going to use molecular clock. We're going to use DNA. We're going to use bones. We're going to use human finds. We're going to use archaeology. We're going to use all these things. And oh, by the way, bro, science and understanding things, understanding the cosmos, actually starts early on in Africa, not the playa. Okay? But there's a transition that has to occur to get from proto-astronomy to astronomy. And so no indigenous tribe had made it to those steps because if they had, they would have took their ass to the moon based off what you're saying. And I know you would actually think that they went to the moon, but I'm telling you not. So the outer African theory is always up for challenge. That's why it's a theory, because it's challenged. And people are always trying to prove it wrong because that's exactly what science does. It tries to falsify, quote unquote, scientific theories. So that's not an issue. That's not a problem. So you gotta get straight on what a scientific theory is, and people, you gotta listen to what the point I'm making here. It is important to understand what a scientific theory is, because once you understand what a scientific theory is, then you understand why what he's saying don't make no sense. Now, if you don't understand a scientific theory, right, then you will think that he's actually doing something. That's not what's happening right now. What is happening is the ability to transmit science is based off of those who, one, understands what a scientific theory is. Why the outer Africa theory is called the theory is essential. Why the outer Africa theory has withstood the time is essential. There is no archaeological finds on planet Earth outside of Africa and Asia that would even come close to saying that we might need to make a shift in the outer Africa theory. But even with that, Africa still stands strong on human populations coming from Africa. Bring up the source, bring up the information in the debate to prove that humans, Homo sapiens sapiens, don't start out of Africa first. Go get that. Go put that together, because that's what you're going to need. If you can't
Well,
do it, you're going to get beat up.
well, Unc, I'm not just saying this. I told you this about a couple of weeks ago. I'm not the moderator for this debate, so I can say this. I'm rolling with Sanchez on this debate. I'm going with Sanchez. So I don't want you to think I'm biased or nothing like that. I just got to go with Sanchez, brother.
Bro, you always go with the pseudo. I
And
get it. I ain't mad at you. Matter of fact, I'd be mad if you did go with me. Then I'd be kind of upset. I'd be thinking, what the hell? The hell's wrong? Man, it's all good. No, I'm finished right there.
All right, so look, I got a lot, man, and I'm gonna get right into it because the out of Africa theory is presented as a
If you want to share
scientific.
your screen, you can share your screen.
I'm good. I'm just gonna talk with him now because I don't want to give him up. I ain't gonna share no screen before the debate, but yeah. So, but I might later though. But check this out. What I want to let him know is, the out of Africa theory is presented as a scientific conclusion. Like it concludes the conversation. Ain't nothing else to talk about. This what happened. Let's go home. But in reality, it's more of a salvage hypothesis. And it only have survived by retreat, revision, and redefinition. I'm gonna give you an example. A theory that must abandon its original claims to remain standing is not refined. It's falsified and rebranded. So I'm gonna demonstrate that the out of Africa theory fails on its own original criteria, and that what remains is not a proof of African origin, but a population genetics narrative mistaken for an evolutionary birthplace. That's what I'm gonna be doing, Unc. I hope I hope that sunk in. So the original out of Africa model made a
Oh,
clear.
what you say? Say that again. Yeah.
Okay,
What?
I'll say it again if you do me one thing. Tell me the
All right, go.
definition of scientific theory.
A scientific theory is the organized, well-tested facts. They're organized and they're well-tested and established. So scientific theories organizes the facts in a coherent way and is repeatedly tested and challenged over and over and over again. That's a scientific theory. It's open for change. It
I
does not
guess
mean
I guess
complete.
we'll
Not
take
mean
that.
that.
I guess we can take that definition. I'll give you a B plus with that definition. but so what I was saying was the out of Africa theory fails on its own original criteria because it's not really proof of African origin. It's proof of a population genetics narrative mistaken for an evolutionary birthplace. I'm gonna go into what I'm saying here. The original out of Africa model made a clear testable claim that modern humans evolved in Africa and replaced all other hominids with little or no interbreeding. That claim is now false, and I don't think a lot of people pushing the out of Africa theory know that the theory has evolved. Speaking of evolution, you need to keep up with how much your theory evolves. It really evolves way faster than monkey men, and I don't think y'all really know that, sir. So yes, did you know that the claim that all these hominids came out of Africa with little or no interbreeding has been false? The people that gave us this theory said it's false. It's not an opinion, it's an admitted fact. This is a yes or no, and I'll just keep moving.
All right, go say it again. Say it again. My fault. Go ahead. What?
No, I'm gonna just keep moving. But the thing about this is non-African humans.
Yeah. Yes.
It said that. So basically, what I'm stating is that replacement didn't happen because this is what the out of Africa theory claimed. Replacement was not a side detail. It's the mechanism that made out of Africa distinct. Without replacement, out of Africa collapses into hybridization, regional continuity, and assimilation. In other words, the theory now depends on the very mechanisms it was designed to replace. It's not refinement, it's failure. If you don't see what I'm saying, just keep listening.
No, I see what you're saying.
The strongest claim used to prop up the out of Africa theory is genetic diversity. Now, this is where I'm finna hit home at. This is where you're gonna definitely get me. So, Africa has the most genetic diversity. This is the claim being made, and I'm not gonna argue that it don't. I'm gonna say, let's say Africa do got the most genetic diversity. Can we say all life come from Africa because of that? I don't think we can, right? It's like me saying, well, a dragon is burping out the sun in the morning, and because we see the sun, that proves my dragon. No. So my thing is like this right here. Africa could be the most diverse if that's true, because it has been the most invaded continent since the beginning as we know it. And I've been knowing that because I've been studying the continent for a while. No place on earth has been invaded by so many different groups for so long than Africa. That would explain diversity better than monkey people and Sasquatch theories and stuff like that. And it's actually more reasonable. We can still see that kind of diversity taking place in Africa as I speak, but we can't see monkeys or chimps turning into humans. So I'm just saying there are more valid explanations than, oh, it's the most diversity there, so human life started there. Well, guess what? The Amazon rainforest got the most diverse plant life. Maybe plant life started in the Amazon. What you think about that? You think plant life started in the Amazon?
I think rainforests have the most diversity. Period. You have rainforests all over planet Earth. So I
But
think the
Amazon has the
biodiversity.
most diverse, though.
I'm just saying the rainforest has the most biodiversity. I have not looked that up to even see if that is a confirmed fact or what
That's a
it is.
fact.
So I will look that up.
That's a
Now I
fact.
can't, I can't trust you with your facts at all. So I'll look it up and figure
We
out
can
and
look it up
determine.
right now, because if I'm wrong, you can debunk me right in front of all these people right now.
I ain't trying to, but if you right, you just proved my damn point.
Okay, if you
Don't look
think
it up. You gonna
if you
lose
think
right
so,
there.
if you think
Yeah,
so, but
don't look it up,
but
Sanchez.
yeah,
Come on,
I
man.
hope you didn't let the point go over your head about diversity and why we brought up the Amazon in the first place. But let me move on.
Well,
See,
I was the first to bring up. I gave you the wild grains. Remember, I brought the diversity up first. Remember, that's what I'm saying. Don't look it up. Trying to help you out. I'm trying to say, yo, you beat
so
up already.
so a
So beat up.
population can be genetically diverse, without being the origin. Just as a language can be diverse without being the birthplace of speech. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. Yes, I
Explain what
do.
I'm saying then.
You're
What I
basically
just said.
saying that that doesn't necessarily have to be a hard fixed rule, and I'm saying I agree with you.
Okay, so then I hope you don't try to make it a hard fits rule throughout in the future. Everybody just heard you say that. That was crazy.
I
Yo,
know, but
yo,
I
you
know it
agree
was
with me?
crazy.
You heard that, son?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yep, sure
that's
do.
crazy. Yo,
What?
oh man, I ain't gonna. I do feel like a bully right now, and I'ma stop. I'ma stop. Damn it, I know I'm smart and I'm intellectual, but I'm kind of I apologize to Unc. I'm feeling fucking like a bully right now, man.
No,
I don't want to do this.
no profanity, no profanity.
Oh, you know what? How would I be the first one to break the rule, man? Okay, that takes away debate points then.
All right. So y'all ready just to open up the floor to get questions? Cause y'all don't want to reveal
But,
all y'all
but
stuff.
Man,
because
I can real all my
no,
stuff.
because Unc need help and they ready to get
I don't need help.
suntan dude and the Cedric dude.
Yeah.
I know
I
them
don't need
cats
help.
can't wait to talk to me. They somewhere doing their hands like this to get to Sanchez. We already know. I know they can't wait to talk to me, huh? They standing in line, fall in line, fall in line.
Hey Sanchez. You know what's incredible about the whole conversation, period, that I've always had with you. You're actually a direct result of the processes that we always debate about. And you don't understand that. And that's amazing in a world where there's AI and there's computers. So I just think you do that on purpose. You purposely ignore information. You purposely don't look up stuff
Wow.
on purpose. Yeah, because you made it seem like it was a quote unquote bad thing to look up something. Like in my world I live in
I
of
didn't
intelligence, it's
remember
a
when
good
y'all
thing to
used
look it
to.
up.
You remember y'all used to joke on me for Googling?
Not me. No, yeah, that way. Do yeah, you
See,
got
not that
it's
way. That way. You see this? That
no, you
way.
got
That's
hold on, you got I
crazy.
can't think of the word. You lucky I can't think of that word, yo. You got
The word
it's
is
something different.
hypocritical. That's what you've been. Right.
Nah, you got me. That ain't what I'm saying though. Good one. That ain't what I'm saying. I think you got you just over Google. I can't even get a word, yo.
I
I
haven't
can't even get a
Googled
word.
none today. You have. We've heard your keyboard in our ears loud as heck. Loud as heck.
You couldn't have. I ain't got no keyboard
Hey
today. Hold
man, we heard
on.
them keys typing. It was so
You
loud
couldn't
it
have.
sounded. I said, man, dog, what words per minute? 10
Oh
words
wow.
per minute.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So I just want to
So
make a point that actually intelligent people going for their doctorate degrees look up the information in scientific journals and stuff like that. That's
I'm
part
not
of the
mad
learning.
at that. I'm not mad at none of that.
Okay, but you know what's interesting? You can't look up none of what you're saying.
Okay, so let me just break some down to you. Do you know that there are diverse human populations that have been discovered on the historical timeline prior to any hominids leaving Africa?
Say it again.
There have been diverse human populations discovered,
Mhm.
right? That they are saying ended up in these places before anybody left Africa.
No, yeah, I don't. You don't know what you're talking about. You made that up.
Well, let me ask you this then. Are you
Yeah.
familiar with any alternative out of Africa theories, and do you know how many types of versions of the out of Africa theory exist?
Nope. I know the multi-regional and the outer Asia.
Which
I
one
understand.
exactly do you subscribe to?
Hypothesis. I subscribe to the AA1 and AA2. I mean, my fault, the OOA 1 and 2. I don't subscribe to the the outer Asia, which is a hypothesis, or the multi-regional, where populations evolved in Asia and in Africa. That's the multi-regional. You should understand that. That's an hypothesis. It has not been, yeah, it's not there. And there's going to be some things that's going to trip you up. I'm gonna let you get tripped up. And as soon as you use it, I'm gonna beat you up. Trip up, get beat up. That's what we call it around here. Trip up, beat up. Never, don't forget that. Trip up, beat up. Beat up, trip up. Yeah, you're gonna use some of that stuff, and I got you. I got you faded. You
Okay, I hear you.
understand? Mm-hmm. I already know what you're gonna do.
I
No, you
want
just take it.
to.
Go
Do
ahead.
you know how many times the out of Africa theory have been revised?
Yeah, it's a scientific theory. Scientific theories are always open for revision.
I said how many times? Do you
No,
know
I
how
don't
many
know.
times? Look it up. You
I
said you
hope. I
don't
hope it's a
mind
lot.
looking it up. Look it up, brother. Give us some
I look it up.
knowledge. Teach the people. Yeah.
I thought you
Yeah,
had looked it
man.
up. You just used it.
I want you. You're here to prove the out of Africa theory, right? I was saying if you know how many times your theory has been revised. You want me to do your homework? Okay, I'll look it up for you. Let me look
Yeah,
it
look
up
it
for
up for
you.
me. Look it up for me.
I
Help
got
me
you.
out there, man. You know I'm getting old, bro.
I got you. Ain't
I'm
that,
getting
and this
old, slow.
this this it's
What?
all good, and I can type faster than you too. You hear them words per minute, man.
Yeah,
How
you
many
So I'm gonna
can.
times?
get ready to
Yeah, you
open up the
can.
platform, y'all. I'm gonna get ready to open it up.
Don't open it up yet. Why you rushing to open it up?
So they can put y'all ass on that's not a curse. That's in the Bible. So ass is, the donkey.
Well, yeah, they
And
and
so,
ass, damn, and hell. You them ain't
yeah,
cuss words on here.
yeah. So I'm getting ready to open it up so they can put y'all on the hot seat, man. They want to ask questions.
To put me up, it's basically let's
It's about the
Sanchez beating
topic
up
though.
our mans. Let's go jump him. He beating up on our mans. Let's go jump him. I'm down for it. Come on, man. I'll take on all of y'all, bro. I got a little time left. Let's do it. Let's go for the handy. Let's do it. Who we
No,
got
you supposed to
first?
look. You supposed to be looking up something. Where that's at?
Bring all the ops. I know me versus the world. Let's do it.
No, you
No
supposed to be
sir.
looking up something. He's
No
supposed to
sir.
be looking up
Oh
something.
yeah,
And
yeah,
some of
I
them are
have.
getting some too. Some of them gonna
So
ask some questions too.
No, he's supposed
That's
to be
been
looking up
that's
something.
been that's been 6 revisions. Both of
Okay,
us just got the number now, so that's both of us, right?
I know. So is there something wrong with that? Does that mean what? What does that mean to you and your world?
What I'm saying is, it
He's
may
saying,
be. I'm helping you out, basically. I'm saying, look,
yeah.
you need to go and study these revisions. I'm getting some echo from one of the callers. They got the YouTube
Yo, go
video.
on mute, y'all. Everybody.
But you need to study these revisions And you
Wow.
need to make sure that you ain't spewing an argument that has now been revised. You got to stay up to date with this thing, is what I'm telling you.
No. Okay.
Stay up on your latest revisions because you don't want no outdated information for your debate. That's what I'm telling you. I'm helping you. Ain't that some good advice to give him, Sarnetta?
Yeah. That's actually
Hey,
that's actually
Sanchez,
some
I
that's
need to
actually some
know if
good
you got
advice.
the link for the do you got the link? I'm gonna send it to you in your email.
Okay.
Text me your email, Sanchez, when you get a chance.
Okay. It's talktoBroSanchez@gmail.com.
Talk to bro Sanchez at gmail.com.
So basically you saying it got stronger.
I suggest you just go and look up the revisions and look into them before you make any claims right off the
No, I'm
back. I
saying
would.
it obviously if
I,
it got
I would.
revised, that mean it don't get revised and get weaker.
What it means is,
What do you mean?
because in a lot of these, if you really want me to go into this, it'll take me a while, but we got a whole panel on, and I know time might be, and then I don't want to go into it now anyway, because I'm gonna do this on a debate. I'm gonna say this for the debate because these revisions, I'm giving you though where I'm going. I'm telling you right now how I'm gonna fight you in the ring, and I'm gonna still win. I'm giving you my strategy. I'm telling you that I'm gonna play with these revisions because in those revisions lies a lot of hypocrisies and flaws.
Says Sanchez who think the earth is flat. Boy, I don't know how you gonna put that
I know
together.
you want to do double dual
I don't. I
conversations
don't.
and you
I
want to
swear I
shift the
don't, man.
narrative to that, but I
I
told you
don't.
earlier, I said Ankh
I
running for
don't.
me with the out of Africa theory. And
I'm
I
not.
know,
I'm not.
and guess what? I've stayed on
What?
topic with it, and I've talked to you about gravity, and I've talked to you about that briefly earlier. But we'll set that up too in the future, man. I got
Man, I
debates
already did. I
coming for you.
cannot do another flat earth
But
debate with you. I thought that was a good one though. With
listen,
that was a good one, wasn't it?
let's not speak it because you never know. You may change your mind later. You know what I'm saying? You may feel
So
differently.
you
So
want a round two, huh? You must feel like I got with you. I know
yeah,
I got with you.
I think that it should be an ongoing thing because there's a lot of different topics and different ways we can set up the debates. I just had one with a guy on my other channel, but I'm gonna actually debate him about the evolution and out of Africa theory too. So my whole thing is, you know, there are alternative explanations, and that the out of Africa theory ain't the end all be all. In fact, there are several versions of the out of Africa theory itself. So you even agreed to that earlier in the video, and I made you repeat it. I was like, dang, okay, he agreed with that. But ain't so that's important to know, man, that it's not
Hey,
the end all be all.
let me get this real quick.
Yeah.
Unc
What?
and Sanchez, I forgot to put the time on the flyer. What time is good for y'all? 5 o'clock? I've gotta put that on the flyer.
Uh,
5.
it can be we dealing my
It's
time or your
it's
time.
gonna be on a Saturday, right?
Yeah, I'm cool with a Saturday. That's gonna be on
Is the
the
debate Saturday, Unc?
Yeah, you said
21st.
Saturday, right?
Okay,
21st.
Saturday at 5 o'clock. We don't want Sunday because that's the Super Bowl.
And then that's my time, 5 Pacific.
Nah, the Super Bowl is this week. What the hell are you talking about, son? You all over the Super Bowl this weekend, yo.
I know.
The debate
Oh
ain't
yeah,
this
yeah.
weekend.
Oh my bad.
But
Oh
hold
man,
on.
okay, you see now.
Are we talking
Yeah.
about are we talking
Good.
hold on for 1 second. Are we talking about 5 o'clock Pacific
No,
or
the
your
Super
time?
Bowl is this weekend. The Super Bowl is this weekend.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so yo, real quick, let me open up the lines. Let me get the people in the building. And I got Ashay in the building. Let's keep the topic on. Did all human life come from Africa? That's the topic of the discussion of the debate. So
Or or
Ashay, what's up, brother? You got a question for either one of the brothers?
or I'll entertain some FBA stuff too for a minute. But yeah,
Yeah,
you got
or
it.
FBA stuff, whatever.
I'm
Let's go.
I'm gonna try to stay close to the topic. Let me ask the brother Ankh and Sanchez, both of them. Y'all recognize and understand the animal migration because we talking about species. So let's talk about the Asian lion versus the African lion, the Asian elephant versus the African elephant. Why do y'all brothers think that it is that when we looking at the African examples, that they seem to be the most dominant? They seem to be larger. They seem to have the darker manes, the longer tusks, the larger ears. They seem to have these more dominant traits. But when it comes down to the ones that are outside of Africa, which I believe is the motherland, it seems that they seem to be more recessive. They seem to be more subspecies, if you would.
I would say that's an opinion. You would have to do your sources and give us some stuff to present to show us how the lions in Africa are the most dominant, or for that matter, anything, the plants or insects or humans for that matter. Because if you say, well, look, let's take that and scale it to humans. Well, the humans in Africa are more dominant than everyone else. That means that the Africans are more dominant than everyone else, which means they wouldn't be able to be colonized or conquered. You see what I'm saying? So I think it's kind of like a simplified way of looking at it, if you ask me, an oversimplified way of making an argument for it.
Yeah, I would just make the point based off of different environmental pressures that you have in Asia, just like you got the epileptic fold in South Africa and in Asia. It's just environmental pressure. So what you perceive to be dominant, if they was to switch environments, it would be like a disadvantage. So, but you actually are proving evolution. They're actually proving that.
With no doubt about it.
Mhm.
But the thing about it is when we looking at Asia and
Mhm.
Africa, we're not looking at a extreme climate change or difference.
Correct.
Matter of fact, what we looking at is, especially with the lions and the elephants, is that we see them making this Levantine movement up the Levant into places like Mesopotamia, even in Anatolian region, even they're even stretching out that far. They're going across Asia. They're making the same migration that some humans are. This is what I'm alluding to. This
Okay.
is why when we look at the ancient stories, they all have the stories about the lions in the Levantine area, the Mesopotamia area. You see a Gilgamesh carrying the lion. This is not just symbolic. They lived in these lands. This is for a reason. This is an out of Africa movement. We can observe this. And the reason I use the word dominant, because we can observe this if you understand animal science and you understand darker manes within the lion species equates to dominance. If you understand when you're dealing with elephants, the larger tusk equates to dominance. You know what I mean? This is just general science. It's not this is fifth grade. I'll end
No,
there.
I'm not actually disputing that, but I'm saying camels are in Africa and camels don't start in Africa, they start in America. So all animals don't start in Africa.
No,
I
that's
know
not
I
what
don't
we
think you were
alluded to.
saying it. You just saying the dominance of it. Right. But I'm saying I got you, but I'm saying put that dominant lion in Asia, it might have a problem. That's all I was saying. You know what I mean? Like it might not be able to do what it needs to do. It might be too dominant. It might overhunt and then it starve from food. You get my point?
Yeah, we observed that with certain models when they put tigers in Africa.
Yep. They done.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get you. You know what I'm saying? And I haven't actually studied the evolution of tigers and elephants, so I'm definitely here to go ahead and soak up what you're talking about, though. That's for sure.
All
And
right.
instead of being bullshit.
Once again, I got the links in the chat. If y'all want to get y'all tickets now, it's only a couple of weeks away. Sanchez and Ankh, it's going to be a dogfight. It's going to be a dogfight right there. And so the links is in the chat. Cedric, let's go, brother.
I got two simple questions for Sanchez, of course, and they're not long. I'm hearing the discussion. Ankh is presenting the current scientific theory and model. You have not presented a coherent model to rival
That's
the out
correct.
of Africa theory. Do you have one? And do you
Yes.
propose monogenesis versus polygenesis? And if polygenesis, where would you assume or indicate the other origins of Homo sapiens sapiens.
I totally get where you're going, Cedric, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if that's I see homeboy smiling. Y'all think y'all slick, but I've been around a minute. Now, listen, I can't expose too much of my stuff, Cedric. So I do have a counter explanation for the out of Africa theory, and I don't really want to expose it just yet. But I will ask you this though. I may expose it, a little bit of it. Where did the first humans come from? If they started in Africa, where did those Africans come from? Let's go all the way back. Can we do that just for a minute? Pick your brain a little bit. How did those first humans even get into Africa, to leave Africa, to go everyone else? When you answer that, I'll give you my whole explanation for my theory on how I think life started and how it became diverse. I'll go ahead and expose mine.
So the question or the discussion has nothing to do with abiogenesis or where life started. We are already at the order of genus in this discussion, right? We're talking about the evolution of Homo sapiens sapiens. Now we know that all life started in Africa. That's a misnomer. However, we know where and we understand the evolution of Homo sapiens sapiens. So again, the question is simple. If you're proposing another theory, what would that theory be? What is it called? And do you have a monogenesis or are you proposing a polygenesis? Because the scientific theory, the out of Africa model, is established scientific fact. It's a theory. So so that's the confusion. If you would answer that or not, it's up to you. That would be my two questions.
Yeah, I would also say, if I'm claiming to know the history of a city, excuse me, my phone. If I'm claiming to know the history of a city, but I don't even know how the city was created, to me that's a problem. And that's kind of like what I'm saying with the out of Africa situation. We're saying, look, we don't really know how life started, but we can tell you how it evolved, you know. And that's really a problem.
So
if you
again, we're having two separate discussions.
Right,
I
haven't got into mine
understand how
yet.
you interject abiogenesis in a conversation of a highly evolved species. Homo sapiens sapiens has been around for about 300,000
Hey, Cedric,
years.
I think you're wrong. I think it is part of the conversation, Cedric.
But let me just say something. See, what we're saying that when you talk about evolution, you use it to explain how life became what it is today.
I get your point, Cedric.
But
Why you
but
trying
at
to trip
this
my
but at
man up
this
like
but
that,
at the
yo?
same
The debate
time,
between me and you. Between me and you. Why you trying to trip my man up?
I don't think he's funny. Inside jokes y'all having.
So you don't have a model, and you are not
Yeah,
proposing.
I have a model, but I don't want to expose it right now because I
And
think it'll
is
be.
your model based in a monogenesis or polygenesis?
I don't really want to talk about my model right now because it's really going to turn. I got an advantage right now, meaning that I know Unkh's model, and the debate is set up to where he got to prove his model and I got to disprove his model. It don't really mean I got to even have a replacement explanation. I can just show up showing you here's wrong. Sonetta can agree that that's what the debate is set up to do. But check this out, right? I'm actually showing my model in the debate to be extra, to say not only am I going to debunk his, I think this one is makes more sense. You know what I'm saying? But all I really got to do in a debate is debunk his. There's no agreement for me to have no model. What I was saying is I can debunk his, and that's what the debate is set up to do.
Well, in the realm of science, you would to debunk, quote unquote, a particular theory, you would have to propose a model. It would have to have a framework, and it would need to be corroborated by science itself. So, I can't even look up your proposed model, then I
got a model. I'm just not presenting it now. So you talking for nothing. I got a model. But I also say this, man. if I work in the medical field and there's a certain V word vaccine, for an illness, right? And I discovered that the
What's
vaccine
the name of your model?
you gotta let me finish, bro. We've been respect for the whole show. Let me just land my plane. If I realize that the vaccine that they're using is flawed and it's getting people sick, then guess what? I can tell them to take that off the market without having one in replacement. Right? And they will give me awards for saying, thanks for catching that, man. You found something in this vaccine that we, realized what we didn't catch, and it was making people sick. They ain't gonna say, well, we gonna keep making them sick until you give us one a replacement with. I'm showing you how you're wrong, but I'm also saying I do have a replacement. Quit saying I don't have a replacement. I don't have to reveal it to you because I'm not debating you. You're trying to help Ankh, and I know that. Laughing, ridicule, all that ain't gonna work because I'm a chess player and I've been over here in the HOK. I know how this works. I know it's mental and physical. I've made mistakes over here. I've seen how y'all get down. I know Ankh taking notes right now and extracting everything he can out of me for the debate. And guess what? I know how y'all work, Cedric. You're going to try to use my ego against me and make me spill all my beans to be right and go in right now. But I don't care about looking bad right now if that's what you think you're doing. I'm gonna say little. Because, yeah, I see the setup. Yeah.
All right. And Elder, Suntan, what's up? Unmute yourself, Suntan.
All right. Peace to the panel. Peace, Brother Sanchez.
Peace,
my man.
Suntan.
All right.
Peace, Suntan.
Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings.
Peace, Brother Ankh. You know that all day. Share my screen just one time, sign that. I want Sanchez to answer that. Sanchez, this
I'm
is
not talking gravity today.
That ain't the point. I just want to see if you want to go against.
I'm not going to talk to you about gravity today.
Well, I'll read.
But we can set a debate up. We can set a debate up.
No. Just sit on this. I just read it to you. I don't even need you to respond. Gravity is constant, universal force attractive present on Earth due to mass. Rumors claiming Earth will lose gravity, often citing 7-second events, are false and not based on scientific reality. If gravity were to stop, everything not attached to the ground would fly off and the atmosphere would dissipate. So just, sit on that a while, because I'm not a scholar and you're not a scholar, not a scientific scholar. So just sit on there and think about that, my brother, because I do kind of respect, I just don't respect your flat earth, but you are, a highly intelligent guy. So sit on that right there.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead, bro.
What gas makes up the last layer of our atmosphere?
Well, see, I just told you I'm not a scientific scholar.
Okay, no problem. I'll tell you. Okay, well, let me just respond.
Tell me.
Okay, cool. Helium and hydrogen, but the reason I brought that up is because you said gravity is basically pulling our atmosphere toward the core and it's keeping it from just floating off into space. I get that. That is the argument. That's what science says. You let me know you know how to regurgitate. Here's the problem with what science says, because I don't have a problem challenging science like y'all do. If gravity is pulling all of the gas in the atmosphere toward the ground, how come the clouds ain't falling to the ground? And how come a bubble in water floats up to the surface? Gravity don't keep it pulled down. Gravity let the bubble just go up and find its way to the surface.
I can answer that. No. Let me answer the question.
I know y'all. Wait a minute. Let me land. Now check this out. These are simple questions that I'm asking, and then I'm gonna show you my point with it. Go ahead.
Okay, so just like how come the ocean, right, don't just start floating? Okay, and so actually gravity actually affects the molecule, right? And so that's why the clouds basically can float, right? Because it defeats gravity, because it's lighter. But once it gets too much rain in it, it gets heavy and gravity pulls it back down to Earth again.
So
remember, I'm telling you that gravity is not affecting the whole ocean. it's affecting the molecules. And so the molecules are lighter and it defeats gravity.
Okay, so
Remember,
but
it's a weak
here
force.
go my
That is my
problem, Unc.
answer.
I
That is
got you.
my
I got
answer.
you. Here's
Right.
my
That's why
problem. See,
that's why it rained. And then
I
it
got you,
go back to
bro.
the clouds and rain again. Because
I
it's
get it.
effect it's
I
on the
get it.
molecule, not the whole
I
ocean.
get it. Here's
All
my
right.
whole thing about why that's double talk. Because gravity is the strongest force in your universe. It's said to keep all the oceans on Earth from flying off into space. Gravity is pulling all that water. That you
Ah,
gotta let me. You gotta
Was
let.
it making a strong pull?
You
I
gotta
see it
let
as
me
an
finish, Sarnetta. This is why you can't do this with them, Sarnetta. That's why I said, bro. Let me just show up and do the out of Africa
no, I
theory.
said you're right. Go ahead. No, go ahead, bro.
People
You're
get.
right. Go ahead.
Can y'all just stop interrupting? I know it burns. What I'm saying is this. It said that Newton sat under a tree. He saw an apple fall out the tree. Now, if the apple would have fell in water, the apple would have floated, right? So my thing about what you're saying is this. You're saying gravity is strong enough to hold all of the ocean water to the globe, but yet it can be defeated if something is light. That's like saying that this man is so strong he can lift a house, but if you give him a feather, he can't lift that. You can defeat him with that. That's what you're saying. And I'm gonna tell you why you're saying that. Let me share my screen, Sonnet. I'm gonna take you
Whoa,
up on
whoa,
that
before
offer
you share
now.
your screen, I didn't say that.
Bro,
What I
bro,
said was
let
an
me, you just
ocean.
said it can be defeated
No, I
because it
said
was light.
when water turns to vapor, right? Then the quote unquote molecules
So that
will
has
float
nothing to
and
do with
form
gravity.
clouds. Yes, it
That
does.
has
Yes, it
not.
does.
Let
But
me
once it gets
All
share my
right,
screen. You cut
let
me
him
off.
finish before you start talking. Let him finish, and you can respond.
So look, I'm about to explain to you. Share my screen right now, Sonnet, and then because I ain't like I said, we here for FBA Pan Africanism, but Suntan shifted it here. I'm gonna go ahead and be brief with this. They keep saying gravity put that boat down to the bottom of the cup. I hope y'all can see my screen because they're saying gravity pulling the boat down to
The
the
screen is
bottom.
sharing.
Right. So gravity pulling the boat down to the bottom of the cup, but according to Ankh, the ping pong ball at the top of the cup, gravity being defeated by that because it's light. Like I said, it's like a strong man that can lift a house, but he can't lift a marshmallow. Why do gravity have these problems? Why do gravity get defeated by light objects? I'm going to tell you right now. Because in their model, they got a force pulling on everything, and really, there is no force pulling on everything. Things are just
What's the
settling in
name of the
every.
movie with
But you got to
Jonathan
let me be able to speak
Garfield?
and get it out, bro, and hold your horses, bro. But check this out. Gravity ain't pulling that boat to the bottom of the cup. Ain't no gravity. That's a theory. This is the law of density, what I'm teaching y'all, and you don't need gravity to explain why things float and why they sink. In a medium, things that if you're lighter than the medium you in, you gonna float. If you're if the somebody's is got a background noise going on there and they be hating on me because I'm going in. But look, if you're
Yo,
lighter than the
everybody mute up. Everybody put it on mute, y'all. Let's go.
if you're lighter than the medium you in, you're gonna float. If you're heavier than the medium you're in, you're gonna sink. What I just explained was the law of density, and I didn't use the word gravity not one time. Once you say gravity and say there's a force pulling on something, you gotta explain why it don't pull on everything equally, like what Ankh tried to do and you failed miserably. I don't gotta do that because I know the law of density. I know that it's based upon you being lighter than your medium or heavier than your medium, which is why an apple in the water will float, but an apple in the atmosphere will fall because the apple is heavier than the air around it. But the apple is less dense than the water around it in the ocean, so it'll float. That's density. If you're more dense than your medium, you sink. If you're less dense than it, you float. That's why a bubble float in water, and that's why a rock sink in water. It's that simple. I didn't use the word gravity, but I explained why things fall and why they rise. Now, am I wrong? No, I'm not wrong. I just used the law of density to explain why the ping pong ball at the top and why the boat at the bottom.
density, the law of density
All right,
has
all
So
right.
so let's
skyrocketed.
get
Hold
back
on,
on topic,
hold
cause I
on.
ain't here to
Yeah, let me
debate
go
these
on over
guys
to
about yeah.
Dazali. Dazali, what's up, brother?
What's up, big brother Sar? What's up, pseudo killers in the building? What's up to everybody on the panel? I have a question for the brother Sanchez,
Yeah,
and
solid. Let that man run like do that like that, yo. Before I could tell him, that man, he made that up, yo.
Hey,
The
guess
thing
what?
he
Guess
showed was
what?
actually
Let's do
buoyancy.
them
It was
now.
actually buoyancy. Wait a
Get
minute, bro. That was
now.
buoyancy.
Guess what?
And for the fact, oh
Hold up.
wow, wow.
can y'all hear
Hold
me?
up. I
Sanchez,
ain't got all day, but check
Sanchez.
this out.
No, wow. You just talked and
Check this
Let
cried
me
out.
about
hold
Let's
people
up.
talking.
set
Now I'm
up.
talking.
Let's set up a
Hold
flat
up,
Earth
hold
debate.
up. Sanchez, you got to allow Unc to respond, brother. Go ahead, Unc.
I'm simply saying that vapor is less dense than the whole ocean, and I'm saying when vapor occurs, the molecules are lighter than goddamn gravity. And then when they go to the clouds and form, they floating because they're not heavy enough for gravity to grab it and pull it back. But once the rain clouds get full, it causes rain. Why? Because it's pulling back on the water and it goes to the ocean again. What are you talking about, bro? This is a basic scientific understanding of why we have a constant amount of water on Earth, bro. Dude, that's the wildest thing ever. Why the ocean don't flow? Man, knock it off, man. But go ahead, Desali. Go ahead, bro. He tripping.
All right, Dazali, go
Thank,
ahead, bro.
thank you. Peace. Yeah, my question was
Bring it back to the topic, Dazali. Bring it back to the topic.
yeah. My question is for brother Sanchez. I was going to ask him if he understands the monumental task that he's undertaken, and how can he feel so confident that he's about to defeat academia himself? You know, academia is a $1 trillion
Right.
industry, but
I can
if
answer.
if I'm understanding you correctly, you're about to win a Nobel Prize. Your name is about to be written in the history books as the person who defeated the out of Africa theory. You feel very confident about that, brother?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, you gotta be very naive to think that the world worked like that. With all due respect, and I'll tell you why. Because if you think that the people in power want their narrative to be challenged and changed, if you think they want the status quo to be rewritten, for example, if you think, for example, that the church would rewrite the Bible if they found alternative information, for example, that Adam and Eve weren't white. Like I grew up in churches that's being taught that all around America. But we know through Ashra Kwesi, the first Adam and Eve story is right there in Egypt. But when you go into theology and into the churches in the South, they whitewashed everything. So yeah, there's a lot of brothers that's challenging the whole church down there, and I feel bad for them because in the Bible Belt they don't stand a chance. But ain't nobody doing it for Nobel Peace Prizes, brother. Ain't nobody doing it for pats on the back. Ain't nobody doing it for nothing like that. We doing it because the people that's giving us history, they're distorting it, they're editing it, and if you take what they're giving you hook, line, and sinker without challenging it, you're doing yourself a due diligence. You're acting like these people are honest.
I got you. I got you.
So look, if you got any more questions, be quick with them though, real quick if
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can, my brother.
Real quick. I just wanted to add on that now you don't have to do it for such mundane things as a Nobel Prize. There's money behind it. There's companies that'll make you very, very rich
I'm
because
not doing it. I'm
there
not doing
are
it.
people
I'm just
who
trying to
would want that.
answer your
But all right,
question, bro.
but
I'm just trying to answer
all
your
right.
question.
I'm out.
There's a brother
You
named.
don't.
Let me
Yeah, you
ask you
don't
a
have much
question real
time.
quick. I got one
Yeah,
for
go
you.
ahead.
Have you ever heard of Julian Brown? That brother turning plastic to gas. You ever heard of
Yeah,
him? Now
yeah.
watch this. Do you think that there are gonna be big corporations and big gas companies that invest in his stuff or try to put him down or keep him down because it hurts their enterprise?
I really haven't thought about it, but if what he has done really truthfully works, This country in 2026, this world is all about money. Someone will invest in him if what he's doing is actually worth something.
But it's
All
not
about the
though.
money.
This brother would tell you it's damn near the opposite. That's what I'm saying. It's all about the money. So if it's more money into selling gas than turning plastic into gas, making it cheaper because there's an abundance of plastic, right? Then they ain't gonna really invest in that technology. They want you going to the gas station. That's my point. It's a naive way of thinking about a capitalist system. You're a capitalist, man. Think like a capitalist. You're on a monopoly board, bro. Don't be like that. Like, really.
But it seems like you're going down a path of conspiracy
I'm just
theory,
saying,
and
I'm just saying,
I
question
can't really
everything.
fight with that.
You
I
can
can't
call
really
it.
fight against
Listen,
conspiracy
I'm gonna
theory,
be
brother.
honest with you. If you want to call it your title of conspiracy theory, I just teach the kids question everything and think for yourself. Don't never take nobody saying hook, line, and sinker in this world
But
today.
we
It's
would
it's
not
getting
have the civilization that we currently have if we actually live by that. If we all had to individually learn everything and only trust ourselves, we would not have this civilization that we currently have now. I
and I'm
can't build a
and
car.
I'm gonna
I
tell you
can't
right
build a
now.
satellite.
If you look at that's a problem. So the civilization we got is a bunch of consumers that use stuff that they have no idea how to manufacture. So what I'm saying is this right here. When you look around and say, look at what we got today, I laugh when I think about what the ancient Egyptians and what our ancestors had, because the kids back in them days were way more intellectual than us consumers and capitalists today. But I also will say this to you too. The reason I say question everything, because even if somebody tell you 2 + 2 is 4, if you don't prove it for yourself, you will never learn how to add. So you going to learn that 2 + 2 is 4 for yourself teaches you how to add, so you don't got to keep asking nobody, what's 3 + 3, what's 4 + 4, right? So that's why I say verify everything for yourself so you can understand how we came to this point to get this knowledge, right? And you will actually respect the knowledge even more, and it'll create a system of checks and balances for the knowledge to be validated and vetted properly through just more than consensus in the way that y'all trying to do here today. But yeah, let's any more questions from anybody else, for sure?
I'm saying that was jibbity, jibbity, jibbity.
Yeah,
That was the
making
blim, 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 boom.
banning
That absolutely
insults
made no
don't
sense.
insults
Let
don't
me,
help you,
no,
brother.
I'm
Insults don't
talking.
help you, brother.
I'm talking. I'm basically saying that what you said don't make no sense. There's always been checks and balances in science. Science is self-correcting. To make sure a person just can't jump off of YouTube and dive into the field out of nowhere and cause confusion, they're checks and balances. So you first have to be in the field to defeat the field. You would actually get the Nobel Prize in science if you created a whole new theory of why human beings don't come from Africa, just like he said. You would be the most popular person on planet Earth. I'm saying you're only dumbfounding and confusing the ignorant. The intelligent amongst us will just look it up. We have tools to make sure. Science is a vaccine against the charlatans that come amongst us. You're just saying anything. What you just said was very incoherent. I can't wait to get you in the ring. I've said my part. Thank you.
I'm asking Uncle a question. Have you ever heard of
Never,
Alan
never heard.
Thorne?
No, never heard of him. Who is Alan Thorne?
I'm
Please
gonna
explain that to
I'm gonna
me.
let you know. Have you ever heard
Here's the
of?
inky moment. I call this the inky
No,
moment.
no, no. I
Go
got
ahead.
you. I got you. Have you ever heard of Michael Petroglia?
Never heard of him.
Okay, well, let me just say this because I can keep naming names. What I'm proving is this,
Never,
bro.
never heard of
All
him.
right, my turn to talk. Mute up now. We're going to let you hit
I'm
the
muted.
mute
I'm
button.
muted up. I'm muted up.
All right, so my point is this. Ankh don't know no alternatives to his theory. He thinks that I'm challenging science because he thinks that the out of Africa theory is just a conclusion that all scientists agreed on, and that's laughable that they doing. These Pan-Africans are religious. They like the Bambatas who think they got a degree, but they really pseudo why they call everybody else that, because what I just named was a bunch of respected scientists that they need to go look up. These scientists don't agree with the out of Africa theory. And I can name to you a lot of them that say that the out of Africa theory is oversimplified. And I got a scientist that even has an out of Australia theory. But what my point is this right here. You may not agree with these alternatives, but the point is to show y'all the bias with these guys. They haven't looked into any alternatives. They got their mind made up with one doggone paradigm, and they telling you anything outside of that ain't science, when there are a bunch of scientists that have alternatives to the out of Africa theory. They just don't care to look up, and they'll say something like, well, they pseudo, just because they don't want to look at all the alternatives, which is being honest, is what you need to do. You need to compare it to other stuff. Otherwise, it's a cult and a religion. I can keep asking him, do you know this name, that name, that name? No. Because all he know is limited, because it's based in bias, and it's based in don't want to be wrong, thinking that you standing with science when you standing with just a few scientists who've popularized one concept, but there are many alternatives to it. You just don't know about them. That's a shame. You didn't even know the formula to gravity, but you want to talk to me about it. Let's move the conversation forward, man.
All right, brother Sanchez. Brother.
No, Saw. Don't do it.
So I ain't even spoke. Everybody spoke but
Get
me.
out the way,
I'm the last
Sonetta.
one.
Yeah,
Sonetta, get out
we
the way.
gotta let this
Sonetta,
other
get
guy
out the way.
speak because he didn't
Hey,
speak in his
Sonetta.
press and
Hey,
put the
Sonetta, we
time.
don't gotta let nobody speak. Get out the way. Hey, Sanchez, you don't even subscribe to the alternative theories
You don't know what
because
I
you don't even
subscribe
agree.
to.
You don't even agree with evolution. So I already know you're not subscribing to a real scientist
All
that
of
has
these
a.
other theories don't
I'm
require
talking. I'm
evolution.
actually talking right now. I'm talking. Mute out. You got to mute out, bro. You got to mute out. I know you're getting jumpy. You
I'm
got to
gonna
mute out.
respond to him, Sade, and we'll
You
go
got
to
to
the
mute out.
brother.
You have to
No,
mute
you
out.
got it. You got it.
I got to bring on Rakufu, y'all. Come on.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, brother. My point is, you don't even subscribe to the supposedly quote unquote alternative theories. First of all, for a theory to get overturned, they will have to explain everything that the outer Africa theory explains. And if these scientists explain everything that the outer Africa theory explains and then adds to it, we wouldn't be having these conversations. So obviously, there's some weakness in the things that they're talking about. And they have not replaced it because they have not come up with a scientific theory that explains everything that the outer Africa theory explains. So I'm telling you now, you don't even subscribe to what they're talking about. I'm
Let
done.
me
Go
ask
ahead and
him
let
a
Rakufu
question.
speak. Go ahead,
No, let me
Rakufu.
ask him a question, Sarnetta. Have you ever heard of Chris Stinger?
Never heard of him. Let Rakufu
Have
go.
you ever
Ask him.
heard of Eleanor Scary?
Never heard of him. Go ahead,
So
Rakufu.
look, Ankh don't know nothing about these alternative theories, so he can't speak on them. I don't know why he doing it, y'all. Let's let the other brother go.
Now, the
Rakufu,
such
go
thing
ahead.
as an alternative theory. Just for the record, people listening, there is no
He
such
never
thing
looked
as an
it up.
alternative
He
theory.
never
I'm going to
looked
say this
into it.
again.
He don't know none
There
of
is
them
no
people
such
names
thing
that
as
I
an
just said.
alternative theory.
All
He
right,
don't know
Rakufu,
none of
let's
them
go,
people
man.
names, bro. That's
Let's go,
crazy.
There's
Rakufu.
no such thing as an
Bias.
alternative theory.
Bias, bro. Bias.
All
Let's
right,
go, Rakufu.
Sanchez. And my question would be about the Dogan and Sanchez brought up earlier. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I'm familiar with him, but there's a problem in that, Sanchez, and I want you to elaborate on it. When they first went out, Graul and the French, the other guy, Dieterlin, I think, I got the book on my shelf up here, Pale Fox, read it a few times. They talked about how there was a serious C and all these different things. And this Hungan, or this teacher, was teaching these French scientists for like 20 years. And they only got to one stage, the clear level, about all these different star systems and different type of things going on Earth. But my problem with that was when they came back, Carl Sagan did a thing about it where when they came back and they talked to the next generation, they had said they never heard of nothing like that. And that was the French giving them that information. How do you feel, or what do you know about that, Sanchez and But Sanchez first.
Nah, Uncle go first, man.
Yeah, you never heard of that.
Uncle go first. Go ahead.
Sanchez, you there?
Yeah.
Yeah, he never heard of that. He
No,
just
hey,
ran from that.
let Uncle go first. I'm
Okay.
handling something real quick. My bad. Go
No,
ahead,
I'm
Unc.
saying you said it right. That's exactly how it happened. Dogon never said they saw none of that.
Okay,
Simple as that.
that's what I
So
thought.
and people run with it like Sanchez, and he don't even know that. So since we playing it, if you don't know that or know that, then you shouldn't be talking about it. Then he should never bring up an indigenous tribe ever again in his life. If you don't know every single thing about the indigenous tribes.
So anybody else, go ahead, do your thing till Sanchez come back. I want to hear his answer. I'm off.
No,
Yeah.
I'm saying at this point,
You
I
said
mean,
you said yours, huh? You kind of agree with what they did when they came back and hit them up.
My,
So I'll
my
say this,
mind.
and then I gotta get ready to. But check this out.
yeah, me
I
too.
know you're familiar with Laird Scranton, my brother, because if you
Yes,
studied the
sir.
Dogon,
Read his book.
okay, so you know I've sat down and talked with Laird Scranton like twice,
Exactly. I saw that. Yeah.
right? So I've debated Laird Scranton. And so my whole thing is this: when a person like Ankh speak on me, he really don't know who I am. That's why he getting left behind. You know what I'm saying? He's stuck in his own little tunnel, right? But the people who are like supposed to be the experts on the Dogon, I've sat down with them, debated these guys. But the point that I want to say is this: anyone that's trying to say that the Dogon ain't knowledgeable about the stars, I'll set up a debate with them anytime, any day. Because if you telling me that the Dogon don't know about the stars, that's crazy. I got videos of Pan-Africans right now visiting the Dogon in the 2000s asking them about the stars, and the elders are coming out kicking knowledge.
Hey Sanchez, Sanchez, before you
I
say
can
that,
go get.
let me say this. That's what I was gonna say before I finished talking about. I was gonna say the other side of that is that they're saying that the
Damn,
Dogon felt like this. They felt like we don't trust these people, so we're gonna tell them this. We don't know nothing. We don't, that part. But they said the original first ones trusted him, and dude stayed with him 20 years, and he only got to the first level, which was the clear word.
All right, it's time to close out. Let me hear from Sanchez. Close us out, brother. Close us out.
Unc, I ain't gonna be merciful. Unc, I was gonna, close out. Unc, I ain't gonna be merciful for you in the debate, man. And I don't want you to sleep real good leading up to it. You need to be worried, man. I'm not gonna be merciful to you. I want you to know that. I ain't gonna be if you think that I put some pressure on here for you today, ain't none of these dudes gonna be in that debate to save you, Unc. I'm gonna ask you questions you ain't gonna know, and then I'm gonna articulate it well, Unc. I'm gonna be so ready, Unc. Just want you to know that now. I'm telling you, don't play with this. Prepare for it.
All right. I'm gonna wait till the day before the debate to start reading up and studying for it. That's how I'm gonna do you. I'm gonna wait for the day before it. I'm gonna stop it right there.
You closing out, sir?
Yeah, close. I want.
I had that
Yeah, that's how you do them. That's how you do it. Standing on business. W. These guys, man. Tell you, boy. What we doing, man? Let me call out donations though. Salutes to the people that sent in donations. Appreciate the love. Shout out to Zekio. Said, bro, don't beat on that man like that. He an elder. No. They like to use the word pseudo and talk down on you and all that. It's going down. Shout out to Zekio, man. He said, I have to say this truthfully, bro. Sanchez, to advice for them. No, salute to my brother Zekio and to Astro 40K. That yes, that Unk dude is weird. No real comebacks, childish. He definitely an agent. Is he drunk? Hey man, listen here. I'm a headache for these guys. They really don't like me, bro, because you just can't Bro, I can dish back the same energy that y'all dish out, bro. And y'all can come try to gang up and double team my energy strong, B. I'll get in the ring with all of y'all. Let's go. That's right. That's why I ain't scared. I'm like Bruce Lee in the crowd. I know all of y'all tactics, man. Y'all predictable. Let's open up the do y'all want to open up the panel drop or one? We can open it up on my side for a minute. I don't know. I think Sonetta gonna be kind of tight that I'm beating up on his mans like this, though, bro. I'm saying. Ain't no way I'm good in New York beating up on these niggas like this, bro. You know they take that intellectual shit serious. Like, nah, fuck that, man. I'm gonna drop a dime on that nigga. Shout out to Dantana. What's up, my producer, bro? I love the way you handled that. Calm, cool, and informed. It's definitely the way. Blessings, King. Hey, look, man. I appreciate it, Dantana. I do. I appreciate that. I can kind of pat myself on the back a little because I've came a long way, bro. Cause the old me would have been a little bit too much, let's just say. But this me is calm, cool, collected, respectful. Let's keep the show going smooth. Let's let and I'm just gonna fight back with humor and intellect and passion. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I love it. I love the new me. Drop a 1 in the chat if you love the new you. Shout out to all my channel members, my Patreons. Flat motherfucking power. Much love to the community. To the viewers, the donors, the supporters. What's good, Real Truth? How you doing?
What's up, man? Yo, you just
welcome back too, man. Thank you for joining. Yeah.
You just mopped the floor with them, but let me put everybody in the right state of mind, right? What's going on here is we're at a stage where we've been misled all this time on a lot of things, like who we are, where we're from, and all this other stuff. And these guys right here are actually blocking the advancement of us, just leaving all that fake lies and all that stuff behind, right? It's like, man, Sanchez really fighting for the people with this knowledge, man. Like, bro, they really stopping the advancement of us moving forward with what they're doing, man. And it's sellouts. It's sellouts, and they just either they sellouts or they with the sellouts or they both. It ain't no other way around it. I'm a fall back.
We up against an interconnected network of cabals that all have the same benefits to protecting the stuff we're pushing against. So it ain't just the white man and his scientists. There's a lot of theological black religious groups that have built their foundation on flawed foundations on these people's science and stuff, and they'll defend it even viciously than him.
See, that's the thing. Both of them are intertwined, right? It's the dark Masons and the white Masons.
Yeah, it's the black Masons worse.
Yeah, man, that whole Pan-African thing started like a long time ago. After they changed our status from the American Indians, those Masons started taking us to Africa, on the east coast of Africa. I forgot what part it was, right? And on a trip over there, a lot of our people died, and when we got over there, they were getting killed by the Africans, and they just kind of They reversed the whole thing. They stopped taking people from over there. They was taking people from Virginia, North Carolina, Maryland, all up and down the East Coast. Then they came back over here with the nonsense and the bullshit, calling us Africans, bro. It was because of these black Masons, bro. All this shit because of them. And still to this day, we can't get away from it because they literally under your skin.
Mm-hmm.
They literally. So it's crazy, man. I salute you for what you're doing.
I mean, you got a
Like,
lot of even community gang programs that are into like science, into like they got this thing to where when you push against science, it's gonna be a lot of like we be thinking, well, the government gonna get me, dude. The NOI may get your ass first.
yeah, all kinds of secret societies. I mean,
Oh
they're
man.
intertwined in the community. They're everywhere. There's no way to get away from it. I mean, some people are oblivious to what they're doing, right? Listen, it's like whatever you tell these guys about, like you talking about density, right? They talking about gravity. They can't fathom the concept of what you telling them. Like it's going right over their head. Like, what the hell, bro? Like they just can't absorb it. They just stuck. That's called stuck on stupid. Is that what it is?
You know what it is, man? Again, Ankh is tied up into all these little programs and organizations where they're helping kids. I don't know if they getting government grants. I ain't gonna go into their business speaking on that. But they got a lot of different STEM-based science, different programs that they are parts of. And when you're telling our kids to question the people that's giving us history, giving us science, right? Because these the same people had Juvenile talking about, girl, you look good, won't you vatch that thing up, right? So, but like I said, these like Ankh promotes vaccinations. Him and Cedric, they say you pseudo if you don't get every jab that come out, they go put it in their body. Give it to me. You ain't even gotta test it. Get there, drink. Be like, you ain't got no needles. Put mine in a cup. I'll drink it.
Bro, they are basically paying to keep us dumbed down, bro. That's what that is. They are funding the dumbing down of us. They're keeping us ignorant, keeping us down, keeping us with the V's. Like this shit is crazy. And they're so rich and organized and so old. Like the people gonna go with the majority, right? They're gonna go with what the majority say. And they are the majority. It's only a small few of us talking about don't do this and don't do that. That's dangerous, man. They are paying for our demise, bro. Damn. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
man. Said it a final boss, but bro, you can't be a boss if you scared to debate. I'm gonna be honest, bro. I don't think said it. Really, I don't think Seti could have held his own on that panel like me for real. Talking about let alone set you think about it. You saying Seti need to debate me. Seti kind of even just went through what I went through and came out unscathed.
Yeah, Seti is the off brand of them. It seems like he's another dumbed down one, but just with a whole nother view. These fools are not conscious, man. This crazy. They just expose themselves and they don't even see it. I mean, he has nothing intellectual to really come back at you with. Every time you ask Unc something, he has nothing intellectual. It's just like, two dudes in the hood just talking back and forth to each other. That's all he got, right?
Seti ain't nothing but a slightly more advanced version of Unc for real, a hood version with humor and shit.
With a bad attitude.
And I ain't disrespecting him. I'm telling you his debate tactics and character.
Yeah, I've been around. I know Seti. I don't know him personally. I'm just saying he's nobody of interest that I would want to learn anything from. Not saying that, listen, not saying that he might not have a few bones that could be
You
spit
know,
out.
hey, you ever had one of them rappers you like to hear their album, but you can't stand when they freestyle?
Terrible.
That's like said it like people will show up if he debating somebody, just for example, like back when he was debating, but ain't nobody just like finna go and just hear just said he though. And it's a
Yeah,
reason for that.
it's like you know how you do you know how you do your I'm not putting it in the right form. You know how you do your videos and it's just you and you just bringing all the facts and breaking everything down, right? Like like they have nothing like that that they could do. That shit.
You know what I don't understand?
Huh? Oh,
Why
peace.
when they
What's up,
say
bro?
stuff like you're not a scholar or
Right.
the molecules, they mean that mean they right. You think just because you said the molecules of the cloud, that mean you right?
Mm-hmm.
When a man explained this to you,
Yeah, because they want to
that
sound
shit's
smart.
sad, bro. Like for real.
Then he tried to flip it on me like why don't all the water float away to try to make me look silly when he just said earlier this is why the water don't float away because of gravity when he was making this example. Then you but see that's the games they play. Like I'm gonna tell you, they really don't have any information because it's just regurgitation. So they got to now compensate for just keep regurgitating shit that we beating up with insults and all that.
Hey, another Southerner kicking New York ass or upstate ass, bro. They can't stand that shit, bro. You coming with the truth. I mean, just debunking all that bullshit that they used to teach everybody, and they
And,
can't stand it, bro.
and listen, I don't want to make it like I'm disrespecting SETI because guess what? I'm gonna be honest with you. SETI wouldn't have been able to done what I just did on that panel, and I'm gonna tell you why. SETI would have got too emotional, worked up, and started. I've studied these guys, man. He ain't learned. See, that's another thing about. I look at this shit like boxing too. Gotta have chin, stamina, legs. You gotta work on all that, nigga. Guess what? I'm
Discipline.
telling you right now, said it would have been blowing up and getting all like that. And he wanna just see. And then another. I ain't saying this now. When it come to debating, said it would be a more better opponent for me than Ankh all day though. For real, I ain't
Right.
gonna do said it like that now.
Yeah, his discipline and with his attitude, the way he flare up, like that just throw his whole thing off right there. You know, it's like you can't have a conversation with some people. They just rather get mad and argue. I don't like talking to people like that. It's hard to find people that you can have a conversation with. You know, you let them talk, they let you talk, you let them talk, you know,
Hey,
they don't
why
have
he
that.
thought he really been tricking you, Sanchez, when he was telling you about you making your model and you ain't got a model. Like that been gonna make you show your model. Like, where's your model, Sanchez? Oh, that bitch is shit, boy. That bitch funny, boy. That shit be funny.
I mean,
Yeah, look.
it's really dangerous, man. These guys are really dangerous to the youth.
You know the thing about him asking me my model, that's why I asked him, can you tell, because they say, well, the first humans was in Africa and everybody else evolved from them. But if I ask them, where did them first humans come from, they'll say, well, we don't know. We don't claim to have the origins of life, but we can tell you that they were in Africa and this is what. And I'm like, bro, how the hell you gonna give me the history of the house, but you don't know when it was built and how where the hell the house came from? That's the history.
Yeah, you're right. Because they keep trying to change it to the origins of life every time you ask them where they came from before that. We don't know
Right.
the
Yo,
origins of life. Like,
That
what you talking
right.
about? What you
yo,
mean?
we literally
That's
have,
some cunning,
we
slick
literally,
stuff, man.
yo,
Mm-hmm.
we literally got a chance to expose the system, bro. We literally have a chance to expose the system so we can stop the dumbness, the ignorance. You know what I'm saying? Like this shit is crazy. How the, this is crazy. This is crazy. They don't get it.
This shit is really some kind of yeah, and it's definitely gate guard. It comes off Freemasonic, but you know, like I said, it's all necessary. It's things I gotta do. I gotta go and I gotta this part of the spiritual war against good and evil. Salutes
Man,
to the panels. Yeah. To
I
salutes to
really
the
wish
chat.
you, I really wish you had a real school, man. I wish we had the funds to really
It'll
spread
it'll
this
be
shit.
it'll be you know what? I wouldn't even do the school route. I'll get some land with some well water on it, and we can fucking learn out in nature, and we can build
They
on the
gonna
land.
infiltrate that
That's the
shit. They
school.
got,
Well, they
that's
definitely
their
gonna infiltrate a school if they gonna infiltrate private land.
well, not if well, you can do your school privately online too.
Think about this though. The thing about this school thing is, I am a school, really.
You are,
My
yeah,
school is just on um
on your show.
Facebook, for example, YouTube. I'm using the platforms that's provided for us, YouTube, Facebook, to school, because guess what you will find? You even got doctors and lawyers that got practices. They still got YouTube channels and Facebook pages. So when you realize that YouTube is the #1 watch platform in the world, then you need to be on YouTube. That's just the facts. You need to be on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. I ain't gonna sugarcoat it to y'all. If you doing something worth anybody seeing or it growing, if you can't make it pop there first, it ain't gonna pop in the real world. I think it's just people, shit's changing. Cause that's
And you know
like
what else?
what Umar doing, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know what else is cringe? It's doctors, it's lawyers, it's people that they watch your information just so that they can go and reverse and try to prove you wrong or teach the shit wrong, right? To taint what you're saying or what you're teaching. It's literally people like that, man. Like this is a sick world, man. The so-called people that's supposed to be helping us, take care of us, do things like that, they even go against you, man. This shit is really sick, man. It's a hard pill to swallow. I mean, I see a lot of guys, they walk around with the symbolism on them, you know, the Masons and stuff like that. I really can't. I don't have no conversations for them, for real, because all they're gonna do is, bro. Listen, I actually approached one of the dudes. I'm lying. I actually approached one of the dudes, and it's some deep shit behind it. Cause the nigga set me up when I was 16. Almost got me assassinated, bro. Sent me to prison, bro. Sent me to prison when I was 16. So I only did like a year or something, right? But they literally try to get rid of me. And I ran into the dude from when I was 16 because I seen him. He was working with them folks. Nigga pointed me out. I walked up to that dude. I told him who I was. I told him that I made it through all the storms. And I told him he was dead ass wrong for what he did. But lying on me, bro. But man, I ain't gonna go off topic too much, man. Shit is just crazy. I didn't give a shit at that time. I knew who he
Yeah,
was and what he was. Go ahead.
I gotta get out of here, though, man. I don't think nobody else calling in. But the debate was fire. If you watching it on the replay, let us know in the comment section who y'all got for the W in that debate. Salutes to Real Truth to Retton. I'll see y'all on the next one. I gotta get up out of here. Peace and much love to y'all.
All right, peace and love.
Peace and love.